Hello everyone, welcome back to another reading, another video, and what is in front of you is going to be your piles. As what the title said, we're gonna get to know about your inactive and hidden charm, and perhaps it can awaken you to see the things that you didn't see about yourself, especially your charm here. It's kind of like a sleeper builder type of charm. So yeah, you're allowed to see more than two piles. We have pile number 1, the Four of Swords, pile number 2, Four of Cups, pile number 3, the Four of Wands, and last but not least, Four of Pentacles for pile number 4. So let's jump right into each of your piles, and yeah, I'll see you there. Let's get into it. Alright, there, pile number 1, you chose the Four of Swords. So this is very much just a sleeping charm, Your charm is literally on a rest mode. Not gone, it's not broken, just on an airplane mode, perhaps. This pile's kind of giving me the energy of someone who has pulled back and been focusing on healing, resting, and protecting the peace, right? Maybe kind of stop trying to impress people altogether, and I think in doing that, you kind of accidentally tucked your natural charm under the pillow with you. But the thing is that it's still there, and it's pretty much allowed. Alive. Let's jump right into the cards here. We have the Six of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Five of Swords. And I think this spread shows that your charm, the charm that you don't realize you have, since the Six of Wands is kind of this effortless winner aura. You kind of naturally come off as someone who knows what they're doing, carries themselves with a quiet confidence, and looks like they've got some victory or glow around them. Even if you don't feel like you're just getting through, even if you don't feel like it, or you just kind of get through the day, people kind of see it like, oh my god, they've got something going on and there is something about them, right? Your inactive charm is that subtle main character energy that show up even when you're not trying. And you don't need to shout to be noticed. Your presence does the talking. And we have the Eight of Pentacles, very good card to be here. This is the focus glow up. Another part of your charm is your dedication. Make that underlined, make that bold, make that italic, You're the type of person who works on themselves and tries to improve, get absorbed in the things that they're doing. But you probably think of it as normal, or this is just doing what I'm supposed to. Meanwhile, from the outside, it looks like, oh my god, they're really put together. Pile number 1 is so disciplined, and pile number 1 is that there is something attractive in how focused this collective are. And your charm isn't loud. It has never been, or flirty. It's very competent, steady, and kind of quietly impressive. Now we have the Page of Cups. This is interesting. This is the soft, sweet core. This is a part of you probably don't even realize that underneath the calm, focus, maybe slightly distant exterior, you kind of have the gentle heart, right? And a creative or perhaps a dreamy side of you, or a sweetness that shows up in a very small ways. And it might be the way you talk about something you love, your humor, or your kindness that no one expected. But you might think that I'm just being normal right now, but to others it's kind of that was really actually cute, whatever you're trying to do. And your inactive charm is that unexpected softness that people discover once they get closer, because they expected that hard exterior in the first place, right? So that's what we have. And we have the Five of Swords. This is the charm that you don't use, sadly. This shows pretty much this card of why this charm is pretty much inactive. You might have been in a situation where you felt misunderstood and dealt with competition, conflict, or awkward social dynamic, and perhaps decided that it's safer to stay low-key or emotionally guarded. So instead of using your charm, you're kind of kept to yourself, avoiding attention, and you don't show your softer or more confident side. It's like you locked your charm in a drawer because at some point being visible or open didn't exactly went well, right? But here's the thing, the charm, it didn't disappear. You just kind of stopped using it. It's kind of like a iron curler or straightener or hair gel. You kind of by choice don't accidentally don't have it or don't use it anymore. So I would say that your charm activates when you let yourself be seen for what you're good at. You don't need to become louder, flashier, and more dramatic. At least based on this spread, your power pretty much lies in your calm confidence, this gentle sweetness, and the focused energy, and the quiet wins. And once you realize that, oh, I don't actually have, I actually do have a presence, that's when the Four of Swords energy starts to wake up, stretch, and sit up in bed. And suddenly people start noticing you a lot more, because you're no longer hiding for what has already been there. So that's what we have. Let's take a look into the next spread. All right, there. The second spread we have, I love that. We have the Diamond Dreamer and the Dream Walker. So this spread is very different from the first one, to be honest. If the first spread is about your quiet outer charm, this is about inner, almost kind of like a magical energy that you don't, take seriously enough. And I would say your charm is very, pretty much ethereal. Let's get into it. The Diamond Dreamer, this is your hidden brilliance because this card is giving inner radiance, rare energy, and perhaps something precious that you carry without realizing it. And others might feel you're like extraordinary, like maybe oh my god, I'm downloading so many things in here. So you might feel like you're extraordinary, you're like ordinary, low-key, and you're just another person in a room, while other people feel like you're the exact opposite thing. You're extraordinary, very high-key, and perhaps like unique, refined, softly luminous. There is something very beautiful about you. And I would say that energetically you're more like a diamond. Think about like a diamond sitting in a velvet box, thinking that you're just a piece of glass, even though you're like a freaking diamond. Like, girl, wake the fuck up. I'm sorry. Like, girl, time to get up. Like, your inactive charm is that you're a lot more special than you allow yourself to believe, because you don't see it, you don't use it. It's like you might downplay your talents, your personality, ideas, sensitivity, or creativity as if like they're not that big of a deal. Meanwhile, the universe is just like, hello, you're literally can be spot miles away. You're a freaking diamond. People will notice diamond at some point, and I don't care, like lab or real. It's like you are made to be seen. So the Dreamwalker card is kind of the one who lives between worlds. This card, it's a very interesting layer because you have a charm of someone who lives in their thoughts a lot and has a very vivid inner world and perhaps feel things very deeply, like might daydream, imagine, or reflect more than others. So you might be quietly imaginative, or spiritually curious, or perhaps you're emotionally perceptive and a bit detached from the surface level drama. So you might think that like I'm in my head too much, but this is actually part of your charm, darling, is that you give up an energy of mystery, depth, emotional intelligence, a kind of soft, dreamy presence. And people may not always understand you, but they feel like there is a lot more to you than what you show them, right? So I would say that your charm isn't just only on what you do, but it's also how you exist internally, because you have a rare, quiet glow and a deep, imaginative inner world, but because these internal qualities, you may not talk about them, not express too much because they are like inside, right? And perhaps like assume perhaps they're not quite important. So your charm stays inactive, hidden on your thoughts, feeling, and imagination. So yeah, that's what we have in here. I would say that you don't need to become louder, right? You just need to stop hiding the glow you already have, because you have the tendency to do that. Admit it. You kind of do, so you're not meant to be the loudest person in the room. You never was meant for that. But, you're meant to be the one who, people quietly notice and can't quite forget. But don't forget that yourself has always meant to shine at some point in time, right? So that's what we have. Let's continue to the next spread. Okay, the next spread here, we have Strength, the Fool, Ten of Swords, and the Lover's card. This is the real heart of a charm, and I think we will see a lot of why it stay kind of like inactive in a way, right? So we have the Strength card. This is the gentle power. Your charm isn't loud, aggressive, or attention-seeking. It has never been, I think, and it's kind of very calm, actually, warm and emotionally strong, patient, kind of in a kind, perhaps in a quiet and steady way. So you're the type of person who handles things very silently and doesn't explode, emotionally or externally, and kind of try to stay composed even when life gets messy. But here's the thing, you might see it as just surviving day-to-day basis, or like being quiet, while others experience it as like, oh my god, there is something very comforting about pile one, like they feel so safe and they're strong but not scary, and that is a gentle strength. That's a part of your hidden charm. And the Fool card, let's shift onto that one. We have the innocent, unfiltered side. Now this is where the softness comes back in. You have a side of you that kind of very curious, playful, and open-hearted, and perhaps like willing to start again, but you may not show it so often. And I think we can see it why here on the next card, because of the Ten of Swords, the shutdown moment. This is a card that explains why your charm went inactive. At some point, you've likely experienced that there is a painful ending probably taking place, betrayal, emotional burnout, and a situation where you left completely defeated. And after that, something in you just said that, like, yeah, I'm not gonna put myself out there like that again. So the playful full energy, the sweetness of the Page of Cups, and the, the dreamy inner world, all of that got quieter. Just none. Just kind of gone and protected. It didn't disappear, but you just kind of put a very strong armor around it. So that's what we have here. I'm so sorry for whatever that has happened, if it did happen. But yeah, we have the Lover's card. This is your true charm at the core. This is your real natural charm, because it's all about authentic connection, emotional honesty, and heart-centered energy, which also your ability to make people feel chosen or seen. You're not charming in a superficial way. You're charming in a soul-level way. When you connect with someone, it's not fake, it's not for show, it's not performative, it's very real. And that kind of energy is extremely rare. But because of that 10 of Swords experiences, you may hold back emotionally, or be selective, or perhaps like kept your distance and act a lot more neutral than how you really feel. So people only get glimpses of the Lover's energy, not the full thing. So I would say that collective here, you're very quietly impressive, soft-hearted underneath, and you also, there's this deep, dreamy, and a bit mysterious on your side, and emotionally strong and comforting, and capable of deep, genuine connection. But what happened here is that you probably went through something painful and draining. You pulled back to heal, and you stopped using your natural charm so openly. So now your charm sits in the background, like, I'll come out again when it's safe, right? So yeah, here's a little trick though, and tips for you. Perhaps, like, your charm activates when you, like, first and foremost, accept that your softness is not a weakness at all, and let yourself be a little bit more open, playful, or expressive again, and stop assuming people will hurt or misunderstand you. But yes, some people will. Everyone will hurt you at some point in time, but it's a risk that we must take on a daily basis. We can't make everyone happy, right? And realizing your charm, gentle presence, is actually very, very attractive, and you don't need to transform into someone else. Your charm isn't loud. It has never been flashy. It's not dramatic. It's actually the kind that sneaks up on people and stay in their heart longer than they expected. So that's what we have on this collective. Keep going. Don't let all of the bad energy, the ugly energy, keep you away from really, truly experiencing or really being yourself, okay? And that would be all for this prediction. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Have a very lovely day, and all the best. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe though. Bye-bye. All right there, pile number 2. So you chose the 4 of Cups, and let's get into it. Your inactive and hidden charm here. It's very interesting, because I would say that your charm is sitting right in front of you, and you're kind of ignoring it, which is interesting here. This is the energy of someone who feels emotionally detached or bored, or that things probably that nothing special is really, really happening, and don't see what's being offered to them, so you might feel quite unimpressed with yourself, like you're not that interesting, or that people don't really notice you. Meanwhile, your charm is literally like, hello, I am right there, I exist, please acknowledge me. So you're either too in your head, too tired, or too used to your own energy to see what's special about it, So okay, let's crack it. I love some challenge here. You're a lot more guarded, so interesting pile in here. We have on the first spread here, we have the Emperor card, the Hierophant, 10 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Cups. It's very different already, from the last pile I read. It's pretty much about like status, stability, and respect based like charm, where I think you're not giving like a mysterious dreamer. You're giving this person people take seriously type of charm. The Emperor card, this is the authority, present, daddy energy, father energy, father figure. So you naturally give off a lot of leadership energy, confidence, and a sense of control, like someone who knows what they're doing. Even if you feel unsure inside, your outer energy said that you've got it handled, you look dependable, and you look and feel solid. Your inactive charm Here is pretty much your presence. You don't have to try hard. You just stand there, and people already respect you, listen to you, and take your opinions very seriously. But because it feels normal to you, you don't think it is as a charm. And as for the Hierophant, this is the trustworthy one. This adds another layer because you come off as someone who's very reliable, morally grounded, and traditional or principled, or someone who people can depend on. You might be the person who gives good advice, keeps promises, and perhaps like show up when it matters, and you follow through. So people may see you as the safe choice, or like the stable one, or the one you can build something real with. And let's be honest, that is extremely attractive in the world full of chaos as we have as of recently. But you might think that like, oh, I'm just responsible, and that's not charming. Oh, but it is, collective. Hey, and you don't realize it. I'm actually mad you're not realize about it. Like, literally, what's wrong with you? Okay, we have the Ten of Pentacles here. This is the long-term energy. This is big because you give off the energy of someone who is marriage material, family-oriented, stable and secure, and capable of long-term success. So even if you're not thinking about those things, people sense that like this collective pile number 2 is like they're the type you could build life with, and they're not temporary. Like, your charm is not in like flirting or being flashy. It is perhaps in a feeling of like, this person could be my future. That's powerful. People consider you very important. The Three of Cups. This is the warm social surprise because it's kind of like a twist, because underneath of that Emperor, Hierophant, Ten of Pentacles energy, there's a lighter side in you that you can be very fun, you can laugh, you enjoy good company, you have a friendly, celebratory energy. So people may expect you to be strict, serious, intimidating, but then you smile, joke, or relax, and then they're kind of like, okay, wait, they're actually kind of fun. There's a little bit of that drama here, deep down. There is perhaps like the contrast that you have is pretty much part of your charm. You're not just stable and serious, you're stable and enjoyable to be around. So your charm is pretty much authority on this spread, at the very least, we're gonna see more. Trustworthiness and long-term security, and perhaps the warm social energy. But because of the Four of Cups, you might feel emotionally disconnected and think you're boring because questions, you're not boring, and that feel overlooked, or perhaps like not notice how others perceive you. So you might be sitting there and thinking kind of like, I'm not that charming, I'm just practical, responsible, meanwhile others kind of like, oh my god, we've been searching for someone like you to literally build an empire with. What's wrong with you? So that's a kind of the energy that I have in here. So you need to realize that you don't need to become flashier, wilder, more dramatic, or more mysterious to be charming. Your charm literally is being reliable, grounded, warm, long-term oriented. That's your blueprint. You're not like the exciting fling. You're someone people imagine a future with. No one remembers the side chick. Everybody remembers who's gonna, like, by the end of the day, who's gonna stay there. That's gonna be what be put on a record, on history, go down with the history. And once you realize that, collective, your energy shift from like, I'm just here, to I actually carry something valuable. And that's when your inactive charm wakes up from this collective, from this spread. Let's get into the next spread. Okay, pile number 2. You have on this spread the Highlands of Gratitude and Service plus the Ice Queen. So this combo is very interesting because it shows two sides of your charm that you probably see as contradiction, but together they're actually your power. So I understand you probably like, not only that you don't see it, baby, it's just quite complex. But let's get into it. This is the hidden dual charm because this card shows a part of your charm that kind, helpful, appreciative, and grounded in humility. And you may be the type who helps without thinking a big deal out of it, or making it a big deal, or says thank you very sincerely and support people very quietly and does what needs to be done without expecting a praise. But because this feels very natural to you, you kind of don't see it as a charm, don't you? So you might think kind of like, I'm just being decent, I'm just being a good human being, I'm just being a decent person. Meanwhile, others experiencing as like, it's very comforting, refreshing, safe, and respectful. In a world where people can be very selfish and dramatic, your grateful, service-oriented energy feels very rare and attractive, and you must understand that. The Ice Queen here, this is the untouchable aura. Now, Here's the other side of you. You also give off an energy of emotional control, self-respect, high standard, independence, and a bit of distance. So you may not open up easily, keep your feelings very private, and be selective about who gets close. Like, come across as very calm, cool, even kind of intimidated and collected. So you might worry that like people probably think I'm cold, but here's the truth, it's a part of your charm. You know, the ice queen energy practically says that you don't chase, you don't beg for attention, you don't let just anyone into your world. And that creates an aura that if they chose you, it actually meant something. You're selective about your people, and that's okay. So the hidden charm in this combination is that your charm isn't just kindness, and is not only just distance, it's perhaps the combination of both. You're warm and helpful, but not desperate. You're kind, but not naive. You're appreciative, but not clingy. You're supportive, but still self-respected. And there's perhaps like, creating a very specific energy that you're a good person, but you're not exactly easy to win over. And that is pretty much extremely attractive. And I would say that why it feels, pretty inactive, because the center card we have is the Four of Cups. So you may feel emotionally detached and think that your personality is too plain. For the love of God, it's not plain. And not notice how others respond to you. And pretty much maybe you also tend to underestimate your presence. So you might see yourself as just responsible, just helpful, just quiet, just reserved, but others see you as like someone stable, someone trustworthy, someone with standards, someone who doesn't give their energy away cheaply. So I would say that your charm will activate, based on this spread at least, that when you realize kindness is attractive and stop worrying that being reversed and being reserved makes you quite unappealing, and accepts that your standard create value around you, and let people experience both of your warmth and your boundaries. So you're not always like meant to overly emotional, overly distant, overly flashy, overly soft. Your charm perhaps live in the balance between I'm kind to you, but you still have to earn your place in my world. That balance, it's exquisite, collective. So let's get into your next spread here. Okay, this just makes everything quite literally makes sense. We have the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords. The Ace of Swords. So yeah, it's about inner turning point, And I think the kind of charm that comes from a pretty quiet self-growth and quiet growth and self-respect. So the Eight of Cups, this is the one who walks away. This card shows a very specific kind of charm because you have the ability to walk away from what doesn't fulfill you and leave situations that feel emotionally empty and choose your peace over chaos. You might not just think this is charming, you might think it just means that you're tired, you're detached, and you get bored or disillusioned quite easily. But to others, this give up the energy of that you don't settle. They know exactly when to leave, and they have standards, and that's attractive because it shows what? Emotional maturity. And the next card we have is the Ace of Wands. This is the spark underneath. Now, this is very interesting because the part you don't see probably also, because underneath that calm, reserved, and sometimes emotionally distant or exterior you have, there's spark. You have passion, desire, creative or sexual energy, and a very strong inner drive, but you may kept it hidden or only show it in the right moments. So people may see you as stable, nervous, not nervous, reserved, and serious, and then suddenly when you get excited about something or someone that is very specific, something or someone, they're like kind of like, oh my god, where did that come from? And that contrast is magnetic. Think about like that quiet person in the room that just kind of like kept to himself and suddenly just got excited into something. You feel attracted to that too, aren't you? So that's kind of like how you're being viewed from the outside, right? So the Seven of Pentacles, this is the patient builder. This adds to your whole overarm charm of the theme of the long-term energy you have. You're someone who thinks about the future, invests time and effort, and doesn't rush into things, and observed before acting into something. So you may take your time with the relationships, be cautious with decisions. You prefer slow, steady progress, and you might think that I'm just slow or I overthink, right? But Perhaps others experience it as like they're thoughtful, they don't play games, and they're serious about, about what they invest in. That gives you a very trustworthy and grounded charm, collective. And we have the Ace of Swords here. This is the clear mind. This is your mental charm. You have clarity, honesty, and sharp perception, and the ability to speak truthfully and directly. You might be the type who says what needs to be said and cuts through confusion, doesn't like mind games, and that gives you an aura of that they're real, they're straightforward, and you always know where you stand with them. That's incredibly refreshing to people who are used to mixed signals, literally. So the core charm in this collective is that there is a strong emotional maturity in you, hidden passion and patience, long-term thinking, mental clarity, and honesty. You're not chaotic, you're not confusing, and you're not dramatic. You're very calm, clear, and quietly powerful. There's something on your energy that screams that. So I would say that the combination, here is that you're naturally authoritative and respectable, trustworthy, and principled. Long-term partner energy, giving, forever, happily ever after. Socially warm, once comfortable. Kind but selective. Emotionally mature and able to walk away from something that doesn't serve you. Calm on the outside, passionate inside. Patient and thoughtful. Honest and mentally sharp. But, here's the but. Because of the Four of Cups, you may feel emotionally disconnected, bored with yourself or your life, like nothing about you stand out, like your personality is too plain or serious, so your charm just kind of sit there because you don't see it as special. Now, your charm, collective, activates when you stop seeing stability as boring, accept that people drawn to your reliability. Let your passion show in a very small, neutral ways, and trust that your honesty and standards are very, very attractive. You're not meant to be the wild card. You're not meant to be the dramatic one. You're like, or like the mysterious heartbreaker. You're the one people look at and think, that's someone real. That's someone worth investing in. That's someone that I can see a whole long future with. And once you start seeing yourself that way, your energy naturally becomes more magnetic, without you having to change who you really are. So that's what we have for you, collective. And yeah, don't downplay yourself like that, okay? And that would be all. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Have a lovely day, and until next time, bye-bye. Hello there, pal number 4. You chose the Four of Wands. Let's get into it. It's very, attractive, this one. Okay, the Four of Wands. At your core, I would say your charm is actually very warm, welcoming, and comforting. This is the energy of someone who feels like home, brings people together, and has a very naturally pleasant or like celebratory aura, and makes space lighter by just being there. Your natural charm is friendly, stable, approachable, easy to be around. You're not intimidating. You're the person people feel like they can relax around. But there's a twist. The charm is inactive because of what's happening on your spread. Jesus. We have the Hermit card, the Ten of Swords, the Four of Cups, and Two of Wands. This is very introspective, almost like main character in a quiet indie movie type of energy. Let's get into it. The Hermit card, this is the one who withdrew. At some point in time, you went inward. And I don't know why. You might have pulled back socially, chosen solitude over company, and focused on your inner world and felt different from the people around you. So you're the type who thinks very deeply, reflects a lot, and need alone time to function. Because of this, your natural Four of Wands warmth isn't always visible. People may not see the full version of you because you often in your hermit mode. That's interesting, right? You often very kept to yourself. The Ten of Swords is the emotional shutdown. This is a strong indicator that something hurt badly. So this could have been a betrayal, a painful ending, emotional exhaustion, and feeling like you've done, you were done wrong, right? And after that, your energy is likely shift from like, let's celebrate, let's connect, let's enjoy life, to like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay to myself. Your charm, like, it didn't disappear. It kind of got buried under emotional fatigue. And I'm sorry if this also, conversation bring you into a certain point in time, collective, but that's exactly my point. Sometimes life happens so fast that some of us just stop trying. Some of us just shut down because how cruel things can be. But here I want to remind you, you can always get the fuck up. You can always climb back up from whatever slump you are right now. And I'm not saying it's bad, but this is inactive. Okay, let's continue. We have the Four of Cups. This is the numbness. Emotional numbness adds another layer that after the Ten of Swords, you might have lost interest in social things here, felt bored or disconnected, or perhaps like turned down opportunities or a connection, or felt like nothing really excites you. So when the chances for connection appear, you might have not noticed them, not trust them, or just not feel the energy to engage. And that keeps your charm in a very like kind of sleep mode. Like an airplane mode. The Two of Wands. This is a turning point, hidden potential. Deep down, I think there is a part of you who knows that you're meant for more. There are new experiences waiting, and you haven't fully stepped into that potential yet. You might think about different paths, imagine a new life, a new place, or new version of yourself, and probably why you even stumble over this reading in the first place, and feel like you're standing on the edge of something. Your charm is waiting on the other side of that step. I'm just letting you know. So I would say that your charm is very warm and inviting, thoughtful and introspective, deeply emotional and experienced, selective with your energy, full of future potential. You're not shallow, not loud, not chaotic. You're the type of person who feels like a peaceful home after a long, stressful day, but because of the past pain and the betrayal and the withdrawal, you might have kept to yourself, seem distant or uninterested, and perhaps like not show your warm side as much. So I would say that you don't need to become flashy or loud, because your charm isn't the calm presence, your emotional depth, your quiet warmth, and your ability to make people feel like home and at home. So once you start letting the people see that side of you again, your energy shift from like they seem distant to, oh my god, wow, they feel very good to be around. That's what we have on the first spread. Let's get into the second one. Okay, the second spread, this is interesting. We have the Winged Wise Ones and the Desert Prince. This is the first time we have the Winged Wise Ones over the time I have this deck with me. It shifts the energy quite a bit, because before we have the withdrawal, right? But I think this kind of really explains into the charm you carry inside. It's deeper, a lot more mystical than you think it is, because the Winged Wise One, this is a quiet wisdom. This card represents a lot of spiritual or emotional intelligence, inner guidance, and subtle insights, like a wise, observant nature. You're likely someone who notices things others miss, thinks deeply about your life, or learns from experiences, perhaps like even has a very quiet, thoughtful presence. You might not talk all the time, but when you do, people think, wow, that was actually really smart. Wow, the collective pile 3 see things very differently. On that, there is a depth here, strong depth. So your charm here is that your wisdom and perspective, that you're not just socially present and pleasant, you're mentally and spiritually interesting to most people. The Desert Prince, we have the Noble Survivor. This is a specific energy collective because the desert energy represents someone who has endured harsh environment, especially with the previous cards we have. This is a card of emotional resilience, inner royalty, and perhaps the strength that comes from experiences, not privilege. You might have gone through isolation, emotional dryness, hard lessons, or situation where you had to rely on yourself. And because of that, you carried a kind of quiet dignity, emotional strength, and calm endurance. You're not flashy royalty type of person. You're the kind that survive, the desert and still walk with your head high. That extremely, very, very attractive, but in a very subtle charm. I would say that not everyone sees it in the first glance, but if you let them, they will. So I would say together this card is pretty much telling me that you're wise, resilient, deeply thoughtful, quietly strong, and emotionally seasoned. But you may feel like you're just tired, or just like been through so much, or perhaps like a lot more serious than others, but energetically you come across as like very calm and powerful, seeing things alive, and actually dignified, something dignified about them. you know, about this collective. So I would say that um at some point you withdrew, right? You were hurt and emotionally detached, perhaps because of it. So instead of showing your wisdom and resilience as charm, you might just see it kind of like overthinking, emotional baggage. Like, this is probably too much for people, or like loneliness or being different from others. But I want to let you know that to the right people, this energy is deeply attractive and comforting. Heck, not don't get the example too far away. I see it as deeply attractive and probably the only person I want to talk to. If like somewhere in the desert and like stumble over 10 people, with this background, you're the type of person I want to talk to, collective. So I would say that you're never meant to be the loudest person in the room, and you're the type of people where when they look at you, they think that, oh my god, there's something calm, wise, and strong about this person. And that's actually the people that you want to have on your wing, to get through the day, to get through life. That's a charm that grows in people and stays with them, with the right people. Not everyone, but only to the right people. Okay? So let's get into the last but not least spread. Okay, last but not least, we have here the last spread, the third spread. We have the Wheel of Fortune, Nine of Wands, Two of Wands, and Ace of Pentacles. This spread is pretty much all about turning points, resilience, and new beginnings, perhaps. It shows not only your charm, but the moment where it starts waking up again. Okay, with the Wheel of Fortune is the energy of change. You carry a charm that's like deeply tied to transformation, So you're like someone who goes through major life shift, evolves through experiences, and isn't meant to stay stuck in one version of yourself. And there is something about you that feels very faded, like meant to grow or kind of always on the edge of a new chapter. So people may think that they're middle of something important, or like they're not the same person that they used to be here. Your charm isn't static, it's like in your ability to change and rise again to the top. The Nine of Wands, survivor energy, connects deeply to our earlier spread, collective, that you're someone who has been through a lot in life, got tired but didn't quit, and feels very guarded but still standing. So you might feel worn out, defensive, and perhaps even careful on who you let in. But others see it as like, oh my god, they're so strong, they didn't break, and there is endurance there. Your charm includes this very quiet survivor energy. It's not loud strength, it's not dramatic strength, but like just steady persistence and kind of like still here strength, And the Two of Wands, again, we have the one looking ahead. This is very important because it shows that your charm is very tied to your future vision, quiet ambition, and a sense that you're not done yet. You may be planning something new, thinking about a different path, or standing at the edge of life change. I would say focus on that because it gives you the aura of that, oh my god, they're going somewhere, they're becoming something, and perhaps the kind of energy that's very, very magnetic. The Ace of Pentacles is pretty much all about the fresh start. So this is the activation card. You have the charm of someone who is ready for a new beginning, carries potential or something real, and can build something stable from scratch, literally. So you may not feel like you have much right now, but energetically this says that you carry the seed of something solid and valuable, and people can sense that. You feel like a new opportunity, not just a person. And your charm in here is very, it's not flashy, You're not superficial, but you're the kind of person who feels like new chapter waiting to begin. So I would say overall here, the throughout the spreads we have, you're naturally warm and comforting, deep, introspective, and thoughtful. It's someone who has been through like emotional pain in life, and selective and emotionally guarded, wise and observant, resilient and dignified, always evolving, quiet survivor, perhaps even like standing at the edge of something new, carrying real, grounded potential. And here's the thing though, why the charm feels inactive? I would say because of the past pain and withdrawal. You went into hermit mode. You become emotionally tired and you just kind of stopped putting your warm social side out there. So your natural Four of Wands charm, pile 3, your warmth, friendliness, and comforting presence got tucked away. And I'm not blaming you for that because at some point it just is, So yeah, your charm, Here's the tips and trick, right? Your charm activates when you step out of your emotional numbness and into new experiences, and stop like defining yourself by the past pain, and act on the part of you that wants the new path. As I mentioned before, focus on that. Focus on the Two of Wands energy. Let your natural warmth show again, because you're not never meant to be like loud, flashy, dramatic, overtly social. Your charm is very calm, wise, warm, resilient, and full of quiet potential. You're the kind of person that people feel safe growing next to. And once you start moving towards your next chapter, your charm stop being inactive. Just keep moving. It becomes perhaps something that others can feel very, very clearly. And that would be all for you, collective. Thank you so much for being here. And don't give up. Keep moving forward. Don't think about the past a lot. They're kind of like a rear view mirror, something to look into, but not the direction, not the compass. Okay? Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a lovely day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We got a lot incoming for the pick a card reading. Bye bye. Okay, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. Welcome to your pile. Welcome to your prediction. We have the 4 of Pentacles. This is a hard one to really work out, I would say, because it's fully in your control, actually. Let's get into it. 4 of Pentacles. This meant that your charm is being held back. The card is like pretty much is very literal, like you can see it for yourself. It shows someone who holds their energy too close, doesn't open up easily, is very protective of their heart, time, or resources, and might be cautious, reserved, or even a bit guarded. So you may not show your feelings much. Be careful about who you trust, and keep your thoughts and emotion private, and avoid vulnerability. So your charm isn't exactly gone, I would say. It's just locked in a vault, and you're the one holding the key. Like I said, this is not something that you're kind of like, oh my god, I accidentally forgot my charm. It's like you somehow knew. It's like, but you're too guarded of it. Let's get into it. We have Page of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, and the Knight of Cups. Very interesting mix, because this is someone who looks very practical on the outside, but actually has a lot much softer, a lot more romantic side underneath. And I don't know why you kept that away. The Page of Pentacles, this is the quiet beginner. You give off an energy of curiosity, willingness to learn, and humble beginnings, soft, grounded focus. So you might be studying something, or maybe like studying in general, like building a skill, or perhaps like starting over in some area in life, and focus on personal growth. So you may feel like, I'm still figuring things out. I'm like a beginner's mind, I'm like a student here, but others see it as like they're so genuine, they're trying, and they feel very real and grounded because you take things very seriously. And your charm here isn't, is that your authentic beginner energy. You don't pretend to know everything, and that makes you approachable and fresh. I mean, have you seen how many people actually pretend to know what they're doing? It's kind of sick to see. I'm sorry, but you're not one of that. We have the 2 of Pentacles. This is the balancer. So you're someone who juggles responsibilities, probably adapt to changing situation, and tries to keep things afloat even when lives feel busy. So you may feel like you're just trying to survive the chaos that you have right now, or that you're constantly adjusting, and you don't have everything perfectly stable just yet. But others may see it as like, collective pile number 4 actually handle things so well, and they're flexible, and they don't completely fall apart under this pressure, and that adaptability is part of your charm, pile 4. And Wheel of Fortune, interesting. This is a turning point energy, because there is something about you that feels like a person in transition, like someone in the middle of a life change, and a new chapter waiting to begin. And you may not fully settled yet, but it gives you the energy that like, oh, they're going somewhere. These people, this collective, they're going somewhere. And people may sense that the life is about to shift very soon, and like they're not the same person as they used to be. And that kind of evolving energy is very magnetic, because you're not like uptight, in a sense of that letting the life gives you a new course of direction, right? This is interesting. Here's the a real secret of the pile. The Knight of Cups, the hidden romantic. Under that, the 4 of Pentacles, very guarded, practical side of that Page of Pentacles energy. You have a heart of a Knight of Cups. This is someone who's romantic, emotionally expressive, dreamy, gentle, and idealistic in love. So you may daydream about love and want deep emotional connection compared to the people around you. And feel things very intensely, and perhaps like have this poetic or artistic side. But because of the Four of Pentacles, you don't show it easily. So people may see a quiet, practical, like a reserved person, and not realize that this is the inside of someone who can be very loving, very romantic, and very emotionally rich. So I would say that your charm is that you're very grounded and genuine, adaptable and resilient, in the middle of an exciting life shift, and secretly romantic and emotionally deep. But because of the Four of Pentacles, you keep your heart very guarded. You don't reveal your romantic side easily, and you hold back your emotions and protect yourself from disappointment. Your most charming quality, your emotional depth, stays hidden. Just interesting here. So your charm activates when you loosen your grip on your emotional control and let people see that softer romantic side. Accept that vulnerability is part of the connection and stop assuming that you have to like always protect yourself first. You don't need to become like overly emotional, dramatic, loud, flashy. Your charm isn't your sincerity, isn't your quiet effort, isn't your emotional depth, your sub-romantic hearts. Once you even let a little, even tiny 0.1% of the Knight of Cups energy show, people will start to see a whole different side of you. That's when your locked vault charm start to open. I mean, think of how many times you actually let that 0.1% of your heart away. How many luck and charms. How great actually life become. But it's scary. It is a scary thing and place to be. It's a scary act to do, and kind of understandable actually. So let's get into the next spread we're having. Okay, for the second spread here, this is interesting again. We have the Hawk Prince and the Lady of the Gift. This is a lot more vibrant than the last one, because if the first one we have here, the last spread is about the guarded heart, this spread shows a lot about the gift you actually carry, the parts of you that are meant to shine once you loosen that Four of Pentacles grip. So this is the hidden power and generosity, because the Hawk Prince, this is the one who sees clearly. This card represents someone who's very sharp, have a very sharp perception, awareness, vision, confidence in your action, and a more bold, direct energy. So you may be someone who noticed like what actually going on and reads people's situation very well, accurately, thinks ahead, and has a very good instinct. But you may keep this side of you quiet, especially if you are in a Four of Pentacles mode. You may think that like I'm just being observant, but others may see you as very insightful, smart, brilliant, perceptive, and someone who just kind of like gets it very quickly. Your charm here is that it's your clarity and awareness. You're not easily fooled, and that gives you the subtle confidence. Next one, the Lady of the Gift. This is beautiful. This is a natural giver, because this card is all about generosity, talent, blessing, and the ability to give to others. Your natural charm and grace. You likely have a very kind heart, which is understandable again if you want to protect it, especially in eras as of lately. But you're like, a kind heart is something you're naturally good at. You're good at giving or have a very nurturing side and a presence that makes others feel appreciated. But again, back to the first card you even chose in the first place, because of the Four of Pentacles base, you might hold back your gift, not share your talents very openly, or kind of cautious, giving yourself too much. So instead of shining, your gifts kind of like quietly tucked away. So I would say that this card says that you're very perspective and perceptive and sharp and generous and gifted, and it creates a very attractive energy because you're someone who understands people and chose to be kind. You're not naive, like you're not easily fooled, but you're still not afraid to be kind to people, giving, warm heart, right? And that balance is incredibly magnetic to a lot of people actually. But again here, it stays inactive because the Four of Pentacles energy on your base card, you hold your emotion very close, you don't open up easily, and you protect your energy, and you may not share your talents or feelings freely. So instead of being seen as the perceptive, generous, gifted person that you actually are, you may just kind of come across as quiet, private, reserved, or kind of hard to read. Your charm is there, but it's not fully expressed yet, at least. There's always a choice to do something different. So your charm, it's like Once you, again, let even a little of that show, the perceptive, the gifted side, the kind side, the capability of giving a lot of beauty to others, once you let that show, your charm stops being hidden and perhaps start becoming something people that can actually see. I'm very, very interested into what we're gonna see on the spread 3 in here, because it's like it's short forward. You have a very strong charm actually, but it's like it's guarded. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, spread 3 that we have. Oh bloody hell! We have the Moon card, the Emperor, the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Swords. It's very psychological actually. It's like you're overthinking so much, probably. Whoever this person I'm talking to right now, don't think too much. And it shows that your inner world behind your charm and why it stays hidden. It's almost kind of like, if I have you, collective, I actually would want to kind of squish your arm a little bit and just kind of like, why would you do this to yourself? But okay, it's a very rich emotional landscape here. We have the Moon card. It's a deep emotional inner world. So you may feel things deeply, just admit it, and have a very strong intuition. Be sensitive, to energy and moods, and live in your thoughts and imagination a lot. But you may also experience, sadly, a lot of doubt, confusion, emotional ups and downs, and uncertainty about how others see you. So instead of letting your emotions out there and freely, you kind of kept them beneath the surface. Your charm here is that your mystery, the emotional depth, and intuitive energy. You're not easy to read, and that creates a lot of intrigue. The Emperor, again, this is the outer control. This is probably how you manage that moon energy, because on the outside, you appear very controlled, calm, logical, structured, hard to shake emotionally. You might keep your composure, avoid looking vulnerable, and try to stay in control of like every situation. So people see that Emperor exterior only, not the moon inferior, that you have. And that contrast creates very specific charm, is that someone who looks strong and composed but clearly has a very has depth underneath. And we have the Nine of Cups here. This is the secret softness, because this is your hidden pleasure, joy, and emotional fulfillment energy. You actually have the capacity to be very warm, emotionally giving, romantic, or affectionate. So we have another romantic card here apart from the Knight of Cups, okay? And easy to please, in a simple, heartfelt ways. So you may enjoy small comfort and value emotional satisfaction, have a very soft, happy side, but this part of you is often kept private. So others may not always realize that behind the Emperor control and the moon mystery, there is someone who just want to feel emotionally content and connected and laid back and there and present, The Nine of Swords, the overthinking blog. So this is the main reason of why your charm stays inactive. So you might have overthink your words or action, or worry about how others see you, because why the fuck you even worry about that, collective? But you replay conversations in your head, fear, embarrassment, rejection, or emotional pain. So instead of expressing your charm, you hold back, stay guarded, choose control over vulnerability, kept your softer side hidden. Your charm isn't missing, it's being silenced by that overanalysis and anxiety. So I would say that on this spread specifically, your charm is very mysterious, emotionally depth, calm, commanding on the outside, soft, emotionally fulfilled at heart, but is blocked by overthinking, worry, and emotional fear. So overall, let's take a look into it. You're guarded and protective of your heart. We know it's about that. We already know. Everybody knew about that. We have a genuine and very quietly, growing type of person, adaptable, resilient, and somehow in the middle of a life shift. Secretly romantic and emotionally deep, very perceptive and insightful, generous and gifted, intuitive and mysterious, calm and controlled on the outside, emotionally warm underneath. But what blocks your charm is your emotional guarding, overthinking and anxiety, fear of vulnerability, in keeping your feelings locked tightly inside. So you really think you're trying to control the situation, but actually it kept away your charm. dear collective. So your charm activates when you can like start doing it right away. Stop overthinking your every emotional move. Let your softer romantic side shows in small ways, and let your softer vulnerability, trust that it won't always lead into getting hurt and losing the emotional grip of that Four of Pentacles. So you're not meant to be completely guarded and emotionless and like perfectly controlled. Your charm is exactly contrast. Your charm is that the contrast itself, strong on the outside but soft and emotional underneath. You can be both, and it's okay. Once people start to see even a glimpse, like I said, even 0.1% of that softer side, your energy becomes very magnetic, mysterious, deeply attractive, not because you're trying to be charming, but because you finally stop hiding it. So I would say you're just like, you're too out there, you're too in spectrum. Like, you're being asked to give 50, but you give 250 for some reason when it comes to the guarding emotions. Maybe tone it down a little bit, okay? So that's for you, collective, okay? Stop overthinking too much. And yeah, that would be all. And thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next prediction. Have a very lovely day and have a lovely day. Yeah, have a lovely day forward. Bye bye.